Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, in this problem, the AC power across the transformer primary will be what? The transformer coupled class A amplifier deliver a 16 ohm speaker through 15 root 15 is to 1 transformer using a power supply of 36 volt. So in order to, and they are telling it is delivering 2 watt to the load. We in the derivation we know that the AC power across someone as a mute. Please mute yourself. Okay, transformer across the transformer primary will be equal to AC power across the secondary. So in this case, it will be directly 2 watt. Already it is given. Circuit delivers 2 watt to the load. No need of finding anything here. It is already been given. Next, this is the first answer. No need to find anything. Second one, RMS value of the primary voltage. See, first why we wrote like that is because the AC power across the transformer primary and secondary will be same. That's why we took VM1 IM1 by root 2 is equal to VM2 IM2 by root 2 that we have written. So here that's why we directly write. When it comes with respect to power, you can write it directly if they have given the value. But when they are asking the RMS value of the primary voltage, then you need to find. So RMS, in order to find the RMS value of the primary voltage, what is the voltage ratio formula we are having? Voltage and the primary and secondary coil turns ratio we are having. Hmm?
Root 5:1, sir.
That is fine. I'm asking what is the formula for turns ratio?
N1 by N2, sir.
N1 by N2 is equal to V1 by V2, right? V1 by V2 is equal to N1 by N2. So V1 is our primary voltage, V2 is our secondary voltage, and they have given the turns ratio. But do we know what is V2? Do we know V2 value according to the question? We don't know
No, sir.
that also. So that's why first we need to find V2. So V2 RMS. So to find V2 RMS, both are in RMS only. V2 RMS. See, they have given the power delivery. They have given 2 watt. They have given the power delivery. So for that PL power delivery to the load, we are having. So the power which is delivered to the load will be AC or DC.
AC, sir.
AC only, obviously. So PRMS is equal to Vm square by 2 RL. So that is equal to. So what is Vm in terms of VRMS?
VM by root 2, sir.
Vm by root 2. So can I write like this? This, what is Vm by root 2 whole square? Vm square
Yes,
by
sir. VRMS
2,
whole square. Yes, sir.
right? So VRMS whole square we have written. So from this we can find VRMS is equal to, just cross multiply. So it is root of PRMS into RL, right? I'm just taking this and this. What is the answer? What is the answer?
So 5.65, sir.
Yes, correct. It is 5.65 volt. Now, once you find out VRMS, we know that it is V2 RMS. So now use this formula. V1 by V2 is equal to root 15 by 1.
Plus root 5,
Yeah.
sir.
Root 5 or root 5 I have given. Okay. Root 5.
12.65 volt. V1 RMS.
12.65 volt. All of you got the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next part is efficiency of the circuit if ICQ is equal to 150 milliamps. So we have the formula for efficiency PAC by PDC into 100. So PAC we already know it is 2. For PDC, instead of giving PDC value, they have given the ICQ value they have given. And also we are given with power supply 36 volt. So we can write PDC in terms of VCC into ICQ. So that is equal to 2 by 36 into 150 milliamps into 100. So how much you get?
So 37.03.
37.03, sir.
Yes, correct. See, it is transformer coupled class A amplifier. Actually, the practical theoretical value is 50%. You are getting 37%. So, which is almost near, and you should get in this way. If you are getting exactly 50%, then it will be wrong, because whatever the problems we are solving, we are taking the practical scenarios and we are solving it. Next problem. A single transformer amplifier with transformer coupled load produces harmonic amplitudes in the output as B naught is equal to 1.5 milliamp, B1 is equal to 120 milliamp, B2 is equal to 10 milliamp, B3 is equal to 4 milliamp, B4 is equal to 2 milliamp, B5 is equal to 1 milliamp. Calculate the first one, percentage total harmonic distortion. Second one, assume second identical transistor is used along with suitable transformer to provide push-pull amplifier. Use the above harmonic amplitude to determine total harmonic distortion. So this is the question which is been given. So you can find the total harmonic distortion by using the formula D is equal to root of D2 square plus D3 square plus D4 square plus D5 square. And before going on to that, you need to take the second harmonic distortion, third harmonic distortion values. So for that we are having B2 D2 is equal to B2 by B1 into 100. Similarly, D3 is equal to B3 by B1 into 100, and D4 equal to B4 by B1 into 100, and D5 is equal to B5 by B1 into 100. Substitute and let me know what is the answer. So what is D2 value?
Is it 8.33?
Yes, 8.33%. D3, I think it is 3.33%, 1.66%, and the other one 0.83%. So these are the values we have got. Now substitute it in our formula which we are having d2 square plus d3 square plus d4 square plus d5 square.
Is it 9.1627?
Yeah. Others, what you are getting?
9.16.
Yes, sir. 9.16. Yes, sir.
Okay. 9.16%. See, after this, next they are told, assume second identical transistor is used along with a suitable transformer to provide push-pull amplifier. So whenever this kind of situation is given, you should remember one thing. Whenever a push-pull amplifier is designed, that means they are just telling you a single transformer amplifier is now converted into two. Here you change it as transistor, not transformer. In the question, change it as transistor. A single transistor amplifier with a transformer coupled load. So when single transistor was there, so it will be almost acting like a class A amplifier. But when they are telling that, assume second identical transistor, that means along with this transistor, you are adding one more transistor. So when you are adding one more transistor, automatically this amplifier starts behaving as push-pull amplifier. So in push-pull amplifier, you should know one thing, the even harmonics will cancel out each other. So I can write the note, even harmonics will cancel each other in push-pull amplifier. Okay, you should remember this. So when even harmonics gets cancelled each other, during that time, you need to find out the harmonic distortion. So when even harmonics are getting cancelled means D2, D4 both are getting cancelled. So during that case, the total harmonic distortion will be equal to D3 square plus D5 square. So just substitute this, you'll get the answer.
Three 3.43, sir.
Others?
Yes, sir. 3.4.
Yes, sir. 3.43.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 3.43, sir.
Yes, sir. 3.43, sir.
Yes, sir. 3.4.
Okay, that's about the problems, whatever we have covered. So next is the class D. Okay. So for the class D amplifier, so first this is the digital amplifier, what we call it as, because it is going to give the maximum efficiency when it is compared with any of the other classes. So here, to understand the concept, we are just going to study this two transistor model, but actually in practical scenario we are going to connect like this. So how does this works? See, whenever an input is been given, here we are using two transistors which are complementary to each other, and we assume that both of them are in saturation region. When both of them are in saturation region, whenever input is been given, when both enters to saturation region, in the sense one enters into saturation region, other enters to the cutoff region. When other enters to the saturation region, one other will be entering into the cutoff region. So because of this opening and closing of this transistor in alternative cycle, we will be getting a complete wave. We are going to get complete wave because you know that in saturation region the voltage might be less, but the current will be maximum. Voltage is almost negligible, but the current will be maximum. So by using this concept of comparing between or opening and closing two transistors together, a new idea was developed. That idea is this one. So here in exam, what if they ask, you need to write this only. So here in this we are going to take comparator, and after that the output of that becomes the amplifier D, class D input, and output of this will be given to the low pass filter. Let us see how it works. See, to the one of the terminal of the op amp, because you know op amp has two terminal, inverting and non-inverting. To the inverting terminal, the sawtooth generator input is been given, and to the non-inverting terminal, the normal input voltage is been given, that is sinusoidal input is given. So it looks like this. This is our input and this is our sawtooth waveform. So we call it as chopping waveform. It almost sawtooth waveform, and this is the audio signal which we are having. Now when both the inputs are being given to the comparator, during that time this comparator is going to compare both the inputs, and the output of the comparator goes high if the non-inverting terminal voltage is high. Suppose if inverting terminal voltage is high, during that time the comparator output goes low. So now how it is going to compare this? You can see through this diagram. You can see this is the audio signal, that is Vi, which we are giving, and this is the sawtooth. And you can observe here, whenever in the beginning of this particular portion, you can see at the starting, just after 0, you can see that the sawtooth is at 0 level, that is in the less than negative, in the negative level, that is less than 0 reference. but our audio signal is in positive, this portion. So which is greater in this time duration? Which is greater, whether the sawtooth waveform is greater or sinusoidal input is greater? Only this small duration I'm asking.
Sawtooth, sir.
Sawtooth. Okay.
No, sir, our input waveform is larger.
Input
It's a
waveform.
sinusoidal, sir.
Input waveform is larger, sir.
See, in this small time duration, small gap, you can see that sawtooth is in negative phase, but the input signal is in sinusoidal input is in positive phase. So, whenever the sinusoidal input is greater than the sawtooth waveform, during that time the pulse is produced. During that time the pulse is produced. Now again, during this time duration, you can observe this time duration, sawtooth is greater than the sinusoidal waveform. So during that time duration where the sawtooth is greater than the input sinusoidal signal, the output pulse will goes to 0. Okay, the output pulse will go to 0. Then again, next time duration, you can see that for this particular portion, the sinusoidal input is greater compared to this chopping wave. So during that duration where the sinusoidal input is greater than the chopping wave, one more pulse is produced. See, this is digital waveform. As you know, logic 1 means +5, we consider. Logic 0 means 0 volt. Now again, in the next case, you can see that in small duration, the sawtooth is overtaking the sinusoidal. So again, it will be 0. Again, the sinusoidal waveform is increased beyond the chopping waveform. So again, this is going to increase. For this particular time duration, you are going to get a pulse. In the next case, since in this negative half cycle, the sawtooth will be dominating. But at this particular portion, who is dominating? Whether the sinusoidal wave is dominating or the chopping waveform is dominating. This portion where I'm showing the cursor, no, there. This portion.
Sinusoidal waveform is dominating, sir.
Sinusoidal waveform is dominating. Okay, others.
Sinusoidal, sir.
So I said sawtooth because
Sawtooth.
sinusoidal is
Hmm.
negative at
Okay,
that position.
okay. Any other answer?
The sinusoidal, sir, because sawtooth and sinusoidal both are negative in that region, but the negative value of sinusoidal is lesser than sawtooth, so it will be dominating, sir, because it's negative value.
Yeah. See, in negative region, in negative half cycle or in negative phase, the value which is having less negative is considered to be more, or the value which is near to 0 is higher compared to the value which is far away from 0. In this case, you can see the sinusoidal input is near to 0 or it is less negative compared to the sawtooth waveform. So obviously here in this portion, the sinusoidal input is dominating the sawtooth. So that's why we are getting one more pulse. So small only with respect to that particular duration, you'll be getting a pulse. Again, here the next part, again the sawtooth is dominating. So we are having 0. So again, in this, we are having a pulse. So again, here, this is dominating. Again, here, you can see that for this particular duration, the sinusoidal input is dominating. We are getting a pulse. Like this, the digital waveforms are produced. This digital waveforms are produced at the output of the comparator. At the output of the comparator, it will be produced. Now, in this comparator, we are using the amplifier class D, where we are having two transistors as I showed. Based upon the pulses which we are giving, if you want the on time to be more, that means it to be for a larger duration, then you can extend the pulse to be on by using a circuit called sample and hold circuit. What it will be going to do is, it is going to sample each pulse and it will hold it for longer duration. Suppose you want a positive pulse, that is plus 5 volt pulse, and you want to hold it for longer time, then it is going to take out that pulse which is given from the comparator, and that will be held for a longer duration. When that is held for a longer duration, then here amplifier means obviously it contains a transistor. So transistor input will be on for a longer duration. When transistor input is on for a longer duration, automatically the transistor will be giving a continuous output signal, since it is a amplifier. Now, after giving the output, we are using a low pass filter. Why we are using low pass filter is, here the signal whatever we had given, it is a digital signal, and the amplifier, since it is taking digital signal, automatically it is going to give digital signal only. That means square waveforms it will be giving. By using low pass filter, we can convert that digital signal back to sinusoidal signal. So by properly designing resistor and capacitor value, we can convert that digital signal to a sinusoidal signal, and finally we are going to obtain a sinusoidal signal. The obtained sinusoidal signal will be acting as a feedback to the next input. So it will be acting as input feedback for the next input. Again, the sawtooth signal and this both will be compared, and it will be, this process will be keep on continuing. So I'll repeat it again. This comparator is going to compare between these two, and it is going to give the pulse, and this pulse is used to turn on the transistor for a longer duration. So because since the transistor is turned on for a longer duration, output will be extended for a longer duration, and we can use sample and hold circuit to sample the input and hold it for a longer duration. And this output, digital signal output, is being given to the low pass filter, which is going to tune this digital signal to sinusoidal output. After getting the sinusoidal output, we are going to take this as a feedback, and which is going to act as input for the next cycle. So after that, once the sinusoidal signal is produced, after that, even though you switch off this Vi, you will be getting the feedback. But since our intention is to amplify the signal, so we will be giving the input signal, and this will be acting as a feedback signal, and it is going to enhance the level of the signal. So since the continuous feedback is being given, this portion you can see a junction, no? This is acting like a mixer, which is going to mix up the input as well as the feedback signal. Because of this, even the non-inverting terminal input will be enhanced. So this process will be continued, and we are going to get an amplified version of the input. So since you can see that here the transistors are not going to dissipate more heat, that means the power dissipation is very less, or almost you can tell it is zero, the efficiency is maximum. It is told that the efficiency of class D amplifier is more than 90%. So that's why in majority of the applications, in amplifier applications, we are going for class D power amplifier. Okay, so this is about class D power amplifier. After that, we are having the last type of amplifier, that is class AB amplifier, that will end up the power amplifier part. So we will do that the next class.